Hey guys, Mike here. So I want to go over something today that I thought was important, and it's one of those things like if you understand the stages of a stock or an index and what stage you're actually in and what stage is coming next, it really will help you prepare and be a better investor, trader, whatever it is you do, or if you do a combination of both. And what I'm talking about here is the four stages here, which I actually will put on a real chart for you to see on the NASDAQ. This is realistic, but you got stage one, which is the consolidation. Stage two is the takeoff. That's the one we enjoy the most, where stocks are just roaring up. And then you got stage three, which is more consolidation, where the market's trying to figure out where it's going, right? Because maybe some economic data came out, macro data of all kinds comes out, and it says we don't know which way we're heading. And then when that data comes out, you see usually there's stage four, and that's the downturn. Obviously, that's where we're at right now. And if we put this into a real life scenario, this is basically the 07, 08, 09 market here on the NASDAQ. And you can see, it doesn't work out all this clear all the time, but obviously, you had stage three coming over, consolidated. It broke below the 200-day moving average, is what some people like to use to kind of confirm this. Then it goes into stage four. Then you have a clear stage one right there, which can take days, weeks, or even months to do before it ramps up for the next stage two, which again is the stage we love the most. And when it crosses over that 200-day moving average, that's when some people say, stage two is confirmed. And some people also like to use, I'm going to add here, the 30-week moving average. And so you can see there is a little bit of difference there. Obviously, it breaks down faster through that. It also moves up faster to confirm stage two. You can use whichever one you want. I mean, there's risk with all of them. To show you this doesn't always play out when it comes to stocks, and the reason why it's important to really get a grasp on this, you can see this is the same time frame, right? But clearly, we went from stage two, stage three, boom, we thought that was stage four. Then we thought we had a stage one, it clears above, and then what happens though? Ends up going right back consolidating and then crashes down to another stage four. That's clearly a stage one right there, as you can see, before we end up going on the real stage two. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, guys, if you get something out of this. And so it's important to understand, obviously, some stocks you look at and you can clearly kind of tell, okay, I think it's in this stage, but that's not, always going to happen. You might have it run up in stage two. You think you're in stage three, but it actually could be consolidating for the next leg up. And that's where those moving averages come in to see if it breaks through those moving averages. Normally that's when you see that big fall. If it does not, then we're moving for the next leg up. But, at least kind of in a way it allows you to plan ahead, or at least know where you're at. And, if you look at it right now, it's pretty clear what stage we're in right now, which is stage one. We had our stage two running up, we had our stage three consolidating sideways, and then just absolutely plummeted and continue into stage four. Right now what we're looking for is that stage one, where we get that consolidation phase to where the market's trying to figure out where does it want to go. Finally start heading back up, heading back down, and again that could take days, weeks, or even months. And what's really interesting about this, if you look, you can see is running through the U.S. stocks here, and you can see how far below the 200 moving average they are on the weekly chart. They're way down there, still trying to find directions. You can see right here, these are very popular stocks that most people are invested in, all different kind of sectors of the stock market. And you can see they're just way down below that 200 moving average. And if you throw up the 30-week moving average, it's really the same at this point in time. But what's really funny about it is when I was scrolling through all these stocks, there is one group of stocks which you've heard, if you've listened to anything on the news from these hedge funds, what they've been talking about, what they're investing in, and that's a group that looks like they have been in stage one for weeks now and are getting extremely close to moving above that 200 moving average on the weekly chart, and that is the Chinese stocks. Because you have to remember, these stocks have been selling off back at the end of 2020. And so look how close they are on the weekly chart to their 200 moving average. And look at that right there. That looks like a stage one right there. That's been going on for weeks now. They've been forming that base right there. And you look at that's BABA right there. We can start scrolling over and going through others right here. JD looks almost the same. See how close it is? It's about getting ready to start touching up right up against that 200 moving average. Baidu's right up there against it. Keeps bouncing off of it. Looks like a clear stage one if that's what it actually is. Here's another one right here, same thing. You look at NEO, same thing, been trading in that consolidation phase now for weeks on end. We go over and look at XPeng right here. You can see the same thing. It's butting right up against the 200 moving average right there that traded sideways for weeks, almost like all year now. And it's not surprising because you see these hedge funds, American hedge funds, talking about this, and you can see they were selling them off, the price was dropping, and all of a sudden now you see that slight increase in investment, and you start to see the price start to head back up. You're starting now to see a very positive confidence rating on these stocks. And I don't think this is a coincidence, obviously, with China saying they're going to open up, even though they keep doing their shutdowns, that, these stocks are so beaten down, the hedge funds are so desperate looking for investments because they want to invest their money and make money, that this is sometimes what you'll see is the ones that get beat down first, get beat down the most, they're the ones you'll see, it may not be an overall recovery, or the bottom of them, but a bottom, a temporary bottom in to them start running. If you notice, these Chinese stocks have been running like crazy over the last couple of weeks. And so, if they get above that 200 moving average on the weekly chart and close above it, then, your guess is a good amount of where it's going to go. But it's a technical indicator says they're going to continue to move up. But it's really just because you have hedge funds desperate to put their money somewhere to make money. And these are some of the most beaten down group of stocks out there. And if China actually does open up, and again, I never believe any of the numbers coming out of China, but because if I'm not mistaken, they're actually doing quantitative easing, not quantitative tightening, right, to try to prop up their economy. And so, the money goes where free money flows, right? And so, this is just what seems to be happening. But I just wanted to bring that to your attention and go, oh, okay. But, going back to the 4 stages, they're not perfect. Doesn't always work out that way. But if you can absolutely understand what stage your stocks are in or your investments or where the indexes are at that time, you can absolutely plan accordingly. And sometimes, that old saying, it's good to do nothing. Well, if you're in that consolidation phase and you're looking and you say, wait, what's the macro data saying right here? Are we in, are interest rates still going up? Is GDP slowing? What's going on with earnings? Because there's a reason why, especially the index is consolidated if it's for a longer period of time, because they're trying to figure out which way to go. Then, you can make some pretty good decisions off of that versus just not knowing what stage you're in. I don't know where we're at here. I don't know where it's going, And so hopefully that helps a little bit. And I mean, if it was me, I'd save that to my computer and look at it and just use it to your advantage. I just want to bring it to your attention. Plus, if you, pay attention to those Chinese stocks because they are moving, and it's the hedge funds around here and around the world that are moving them. That's what's happening. And so we'll see what happens anyway. So hopefully you got something out of it. Hit the like, subscribe button if you did, guys. I really appreciate that. And I will see you tomorrow.